Video link. Jane Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. May I take this opportunity to thank all in the dental profession for everything they have done, and in particular, the way they have adapted to implement the huge changes needed to be COVID secure. I have direct experience of this, having received urgent care both during the first lockdown and yesterday. I know that I am not alone in thanking them, as several of my constituents have told me of their own experiences. On behalf of all of us, thank you very much for what you're doing during these trying times. At the beginning of the pandemic, dental practices across the country were instructed to close. This meant that dentists took a huge financial hit, which was compounded by the fact that many were ineligible for the government's financial support package. This was particularly true of private dentists. We rely on these practices as much as NHS ones to meet local demand, and this should be considered going forward. NHS dentists have recently been asked to fulfil their contractual obligations in the last quarter of the financial year. However, in order to meet additional safety guidelines, they now see fewer patients. Indeed, 64% of practices surveyed by the British Dental Association last year estimated that they could only treat less than half of the patients they saw before the pandemic. Of course, practices also have to cater for self-isolation of staff and patients, the general fear of older residents leaving their home for any reason, and cancellations at short notice for all of the above. I would like to emphasise that dental practices are safe and continue to be so. I'm grateful to the Leicestershire and Rutland Local Dental Committee who allowed me to attend their Zoom meeting last night to hear the concerns of 112 local dentists. In an online vote, 80% of these dentists said they would not be able to hit the target for Q4. The added dimension is that should dentists miss the target by an amount as little as 1%, then they receive considerably less revenue for the work they have already carried out. Dentists are also given no leeway for last-minute cancellations and no-shows in their contracts, even though this may lead to those missed targets. I would therefore ask that this be urgently reviewed so they are not punished for trying their hardest to continue to provide the care needed. I can fully understand why the target was set when it was put in place just before Christmas. At that time, little was known about the new variant of COVID, and the case rate was dropping at a rapid rate. If it had remained in that arena, I certainly would have been clamouring for Tier 2 in Loughborough and fighting to get as many businesses and facilities open as possible. Unfortunately, the new variant has put paid to that idea, and a national lockdown has ensued. I would ask that the target for dentists be reviewed in light of the current situation. Thank you.